However, he is determined to seal Kai no matter what. Suddenly, Kai unleashes a bulk load of energy from his body, ultimately shattering Oikawa's barrier, as he makes fun of them that he has no intention of letting things go their way. Kai then talks about how his body is not in perfect condition yet. Yuri is shocked when she hears this because Oikawa didn't even hold back, but Kai is still able to move as if nothing happened. Kai then turns around saying he is leaving. However, he lets Rei know that the next time he meets him, he is going to kill him. This is Kai's last word as he flies away, leaving Rei questioning all of his life choices. Last word as he flies away, leaving Rei questioning all of his life choices. The next day, the news of the attack spread around the country. Even though the mages were there to help, the civilians could not help but mention just how messy everything turned out to be. The civilians in other regions are also worried that monsters might just start appearing anywhere. Some even believe that evacuating to places where there are fewer dungeons would help them. Without a doubt, Oikawa could see that society is starting to fall into panic. However, the major issue they are facing is Kai falling to the dark side. He starts wondering what it is they can do before it all goes to shit. Meanwhile, Aya, Yuri, and Rei are watching over Kurahashi at the hospital, and Rei looks all sad because he blames himself for what happened. He is mad at himself for not being able to stop Kai, or at least stop him, which ended up in Kurahashi getting gutted. Yuri then tells Rei that they need to go because Hojo is calling for them. Moments later, they arrive at Hojo's palace, and he lets them know that they might have reduced the monsters, but they can't allow Kai to continue roaming freely. The team members then ask Hojo what they are supposed to do, and Hojo reveals that he has spoken with the other primary color kings. Aya is confused when she hears this, and Yuri explains to her that they are the ones who have the power to call the shots in such an emergency situation. Deep down, Yuri is worried because the whole situation has the other kings threatened. Hojo then mentions that their plan might sound harsh, but they have all decided to subjugate Kai. Rei is shocked when he hears this because this is a term used for monsters. Oikawa cuts in saying the term used for Kai is correct because Kai has committed a lot of indiscriminate acts, which is why the other kings came to this conclusion. They have coldly agreed to this to prevent further casualties. Apparently, they have figured out where Kai is hiding, and Hojo lets them know that he is going to personally participate in the raid. Rei starts sweating in fear, asking if there is any other way without subjugating Kai, but Hojo says no. He reminds Rei that Oikawa's square box was even useless against Kai, and they can't just sit around to let things be. Hojo lets Rei know that the decision has been made already, and Kai will be subjugated the following day. Even though Rei knows that Kai has his bad sides, he knows that his brother has his good sides too, leaving him to wonder if there is really no other way. Just then, Oikawa brings out his phone because he received a text. He lets the team know that Kurahashi has regained consciousness, and this sends a wave of relief to the entire team. Kurahashi also sends a message to Rei telling him not to worry about him, but get his shit together so he can knock some sense into his brother. Kurahashi's words are enough to tell Rei that he can't give up because he has to set things right, since Kai is his younger brother. Rei then asks Hojo if he can give him a chance. He knows that Kai is dangerous, but he believes that there is a possibility to set things right. Hojo lets Rei know that the subjugation of Kai begins the next afternoon, but he lets Rei know that he can do anything he wants to before then. Rei is relieved to hear this, and he thanks Hojo for the chance. Surprisingly, Aya and Yuri say they are going to join Rei because they were at his party before they joined the Apostles. Hojo sighs when he hears this, but he can't stop them, so he just tells them that they are free to go. However, he lets them know that the deadline is the afternoon of the next day, making sure that they are aware that there is no extension. Rei looks into the sky as he vows to get his brother back. Later on, Rei and his team make their way to an island near southern Tokyo where Kai is said to be hiding. Moments later, they run into Oikawa, and it dawns on Rei that Oikawa is there to watch Rei. Oikawa confirms this, saying he is following Hojo's orders. He mentions that it is his job to watch the island and also to participate in subjugating Kai with the rest of the Apostles. Because of this, he can't participate in whatever Rei is about to do, but instead he passes on the barrier skill to him. Rei smiles when he realizes that Hojo intentionally sent them to the island on time. Rei then thanks Oikawa, assuring him that he is going to bring Kai back. As he leaves, Oikawa tells Rei that he is not sure Kai is going to listen to him, and because of this, he does one more thing for Rei. Meanwhile, Kai's mental health continues to dwindle, and he regresses so hard because he hates the fact that people don't understand him. Kronos' thoughts seep into his mind, telling him to destroy everything and stop worrying. Kronos also realizes that Kai is still trying to fight back, and he decides to interfere further. Kronos then releases more power into Kai's body, unleashing a huge light beam into the sky. Rei and his party members can see this overwhelming light from where they are, and it tells them that something is really going down. Overflowing with dark energy, Kai declares that the power is overwhelming. Kronos then tells him that he is free to rule the world as he wishes. He also urges him to destroy everything and kill the mages, so he can become the Demon King. Moments later, Ray and the girls run into Kai, who starts laughing at them. He reveals his disappointment that Ray didn't come with the Blue King. Ray then tells Kai that Hojo trusted him to bring Kai back. This pisses Kai off, and he tells Ray that he is going to destroy him and his party. Kai unleashes a powerful blast from his body that even Ray struggles to block. Ray can see that there is a significant difference in Kai's power from yesterday already. Kai leaps into the air, declaring war on humanity while telling Ray that he is going to start with him. Just then, Ray tells him that he is still the same selfish dude that he is, and because of this, he is going to face him. Ray lets Kai know that he is his older brother, which makes it his duty to stop whatever it is that he is doing. Kai laughs when he hears Ray say it is his duty to stop him. Kai lets him know that what he just said has pissed him off, and the girls can clearly see that Kai has no intentions of listening to them. Ray unleashes a powerful fire spell that immediately cuts Ray off from the rest of his team so that he can get Ray to face him one-on-one with the intention of proving his power to him. Ray laughs at Kai.
सुनो, ये चीज जो तुम्हारे बैग पे लगी
Laughs at Kai, asking him if the only reason he fights is to prove his power to him. Kai then replies, telling Ray that there is no way he would understand, but he lets him know that power is justice. He mentions that everyone's attitude toward him changed when he got his power, and this is because everyone respects power. Kai mentions that no one will acknowledge them if they don't have the power to back it up. Kai tells Ray that his opinion about him changed after their duel, which is why he is willing to make everything clear to him. Kai then cooks up a large magic blast, and it dawns on Ray that he can't use mere skill to block this because it is far stronger than yesterday's. Ray then faces the magic blast with the Abyss Flame to properly dispel it. Kai recognizes the spell as the one Ray used during their duel. This pisses him off more, and he lets Ray know that he is going to crush him. However, Ray leaps toward him, telling him that he is not going to allow him. Ray believes that getting close would give him the edge, but he almost loses his head to Kai's giant claws. Thankfully, Oikawa's barrier skill comes into play to protect Ray from dying early on in the fight. Ray then capitalizes on this to land a significant blow to Kai's body, sending him flying into the distance. The girls watch in patience, trying to see if Ray has managed to defeat Kai. During their close encounter, Ray notices that he can't steal Kai's power, leaving him to wonder if his transformation has something to do with it. However, he is hoping that the attack he just landed did something. The dust clears off, and Ray sees Kai standing in the distance with an energy ball in his chest. Kai stays motionless while trying to understand why everyone on the team chose to follow Ray and even trusted him with their powers. In addition, he holds his head in frustration, wondering why Ray is trying to stop him. Trying not to lose to his emotions, Kai unleashes a power surge from his body again, shocking Ray. He knows that Kai currently doesn't have the overclock, so it is shocking that he is able to use that many skills. Kai wastes no time conjuring a bunch of blasts, which he aims directly at Ray, ready to blast him to bits. Ray watches as the magic blasts descend upon him, and without moving it leaves a massive shockwave. Kai celebrates when he sees this, believing that he has already. He starts trash-talking about how Ray is stupid to believe he wants to school him as his older brother when he is nothing compared to his power. Suddenly, Ray's voice emerges from the blast site, telling Kai that despite his victory, he sounds very sad. Kai is shocked when he realizes that Ray was able to survive his attack thanks to Kurahashi's power. With his body covered in flames, Ray tells Kai that he is not going to allow him to fall to the dark side because he is going to bring him back. Kai, on the other hand, is still surprised that Ray managed to block his Demon Lance attack with Kurahashi's AoE skill. Before coming to the island, Ray had visited Kurahashi at the hospital, and Kurahashi told Ray to take his power because he clearly couldn't fight in his current state. Now that he has awakened Kurahashi's power, Ray tells Kai that it is time that they get down to business. He sends a powerful punch at Kai, pushing him backwards, and when he thinks he is safe, Ray follows through with Yuri's skill, Mana Compression. Kai is pissed off when he sees this again, but Ray doesn't stop there. He continues firing off attacks after attacks, sending Kai back on his arse. Even Kai can't believe that he is taking so much damage from a single fireball. Moments later, Ray decides to chill out with the incessant attacks, and this is when he realizes that Kai is still pretty much active. Kai starts laughing maniacally, talking about how he finally remembers why he can't use his overclock skill. He has finally figured out that Ray can use many skills because he has the ability to steal others' power from them. Kai then tells Ray that he is basically saying he agrees with sacrificing others since he doesn't mind stealing their power. Ray disagrees, telling him that he is wrong, but Kai decides to tell Ray something that he doesn't know. Kai mentions that 2 of his comrades died, and this is all thanks to the fact that Ray stole his overclock. After he lost the skill, his party didn't remain the same, and this is all thanks to Ray stealing other people's skills. Kai tells Ray that he is basically saying he is fine with sacrificing others as long as he gets him to be stronger. Ray tries to argue. But there is nothing coming to his head to use as a point against what Kai just said. It starts to dawn on Ray that he never thought about the fact that stealing Kai's power would result in the death of his comrades. Ray then decides that he has to change how he uses the power in the future, or else Kronos is going to get the chance to destroy humanity. Ray remains motionless as he racks his brain about all of these, and Kai senses this. Kai uses the opportunity to dash toward him, punching him, while telling him that it is already too late to start regretting. Kai continues dealing a series of blows at Ray, but Ray doesn't even make an attempt to retaliate. Kai talks about how he and Ray are the same because they are always thinking about each other's interests. Ray still doesn't reply or even fight back until Kai punctures his chest with his hand. Kai is shocked to see Ray standing still and not fighting back. Ray then touches his brother's hand, apologizing for stealing overclock from him. Just then, Ray returns the skill to him, and he tells Kai that he might have stolen power from him, but at the same time, the essence of having power is to protect others. A massive energy wave from Ray's body pushes Kai backwards, and Ray tells Kai that he also needs power, but what he is doing is totally wrong. In a surprising turn of events, Ray's body starts to glow, thanks to the powers he has received from his comrades. Ray tells Kai that everyone entrusted their power to him, and he lets Kai know that this is exactly how he plans to unite the power. Ray gets the powers under control, and from it, he whips out a sword with an overwhelming aura. Kai watches in shock and fear as the atmosphere around Ray's body changes. Ray then points his sword at Kai, telling him that it is time for them to end things. Well guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this video, comment next part in the comments.